Welcome to On the Flyer TV. You join us today on the banks of the glorious River Trent for the Renwick Rosebowl final, where 20 anglers will compete for the £1,000 prize money and, more importantly, the bragging rights to the trophy. We're going to have a quick word with some of the anglers now just to see what tactics they're going to employ today, see if they're happy with the draw, and basically bring you some footage throughout the day. So you join us here on peg 1, obviously one of the most favourable pegs, and it's a really good draw for a Centre Starlet guy, Howard Kay. You right, Howard?
Morning, Gary. Yeah, I know it's a good draw, even though I don't know the stretch. But I know as soon as I went in the draw bag that everyone's moaning, yeah, so it's got to be good. You've
got to be happy with that, mate.
Yeah. I'm well known for drawing good pegs, just not on my home venue.
Just tell us about, you qualified at Willington, you were one of the first to qualify, and it was obviously a tough match.
Oh, it was incredible. If you remember, it was a rising river. It came up a couple of feet and nobody had a bite in the section. And I've gone out really quite far out to start with, not a sign, turn round and the little dace dimpling right on the edge. So I've...
Behind your box?
Yeah, towards the bank. So I've turned the other way. And I've put a really heavy rig on because all I'd got set up, and I caught little dace. So with that, I went up the bank, got a bleak whip out and a rig, waded through the fish I was about to catch, got to my box, turned and faced the bank, and just kept catching. I think I had 40 dace for £1.6 or something.
£1.6.
I know, it's ridiculous, but nobody else. I was next to Tony Marshall, and one of the best results of my life is taking quid off Tony Marshall.
That's what it's about, and it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter the weight. You got you here today.
Look, you've got to do what you've got to do. But what a fantastic event! After 22 years, is it?
22 years. That's been fished for you.
Yeah, Gary, what you've done and the committee have done here to get this up and running, and it's fantastic. And everyone's a sellout. It's credit to you and all the guys.
No, I really appreciate it. Obviously, it means a lot of people like yourselves coming down for us as well, because it's good exposure having anglers like yourself. Like I said before, you're a census guy, you're well known as a river angler. Yeah. So tell us about your peg today. Obviously, as we've said, got to be happy with peg 1.
Well, this is actually a lot faster than rivers I do a lot on the Warwickshire Avon. But look, this is beautiful. It's lovely oxygenated water. I'm told it's about 5 feet deep. A lot of dace, a lot of roach. It's MPEG. I've got about 50 miles of river below me to go at. I love fishing the running line. I've set up 2 sort of medium specie wags. I'm putting a big stick on. I've also set up a barbel rod because I know somebody lost a barbel, but I don't really plan to fish that unless I have to. I'd rather just get my head down and catch silverfish, dace and roach if possible. But I'll just be loose feeding hemp caster, maggot if I need to, and we'll just see how it goes. But I'm confident of a catch of fish, and I'd be really proud to win that. Yeah. It'd be a great event after 22 years.
Get your name on the trophy.
The name on the trophy. It's like when I won the Witch Haven, it wasn't the money, it's about the name on the trophy, which is there all the time. And so, fingers crossed I'll have a decent day, and hopefully everybody catches fish. But it's a beautiful day, about 20 degrees today.
Put you on the spot. Give me a rough weight. What are you thinking? What's going to win? £15?
Yeah.
No, well, that's brilliant. Well, best of luck to you, Howard, today.
Thank you,
Obviously,
mate.
lovely peg. Yeah. I hope it all goes well for you.
Yeah, thanks, Gary, and I hope the whole final goes well for everybody. Anyway.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Right, so we've got another one of the finalists here today. It's a well-known commercial lad, Brad Parks. You all right, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Not too bad.
So, Brad, you qualified at Branston, and I was there that day. Just tell us about how you qualified, mate.
Yeah, so first ever river match. I've done little bits of bobs like roaming for chub and that type of thing, like drop shots and things, but first ever match on a river. Just fished a pole, it's probably what I'm more comfortable with, and had a couple of nice early skimmers.
Yeah, you certainly did. What did you finish? Was it £12 or £14?
Yeah, about £12, £13 I think, which I was dead pleased. Obviously it was enough to win on the day, thankfully. And
well, it was more than just a win, Brad. I remember on the day I was walking the bank and I asked you, have you had any fish? And you said, I've had a couple of skimmers. Now, one of the bream was about £7, mate, so obviously skimmers must be a different thing to you than it is me.
I think it was because I'd won about 4, then I lost a bigger one, so I think in my own mind it had thrown me then, and everything was tiny after that. Yeah.
Well, from a personal point of view, mate, I am made up because, as you know, us commercial anglers get some flack from these natural lads saying that we can't fish. You've come in, first river match. You haven't just won the match, mate. I think you doubled the best weight, didn't you? Second best.
I think so.
So you smashed them up. You're in the final today. Yeah. What you happy with your peg?
Yeah, fairly. I don't think it's like a noted sort of barbel flyer or anything, but it's I'm happy. It suits what I want to do. Like I want to do pole fishing again. Not done much stick float fishing and that. And I've got a tree on the inside which stops me from having a bit of a run with the stick. So it sort of forced my hand a little bit, but in a good way because it's what I wanted to do anyway. So
So what's the plan? Fish the pole
so
today,
fish the
mainly?
pole, I think, yeah, about 11 metres on the top 5 to hand, just try and catch anything that swims. And then I've got a couple of last resort plans, barbel rods set
Yeah,
up.
well,
So.
no, somebody might be listening,
Yeah.
mate, so keep that to yourself. But put you on the spot. What are you thinking weight-wise today?
Oh, I've got no idea, to be honest. I'm going to aim for double figures, because I think that's probably what you'll need. It's not, I think £8 didn't it won the last practice match. So I think anywhere around £10 would be a nice weight today. But you never know, really. I think if anyone has a barbel, they're going to need, more than that.
If
It might
somebody has a
fish
barbel,
on
you're going to be
as well.
catching up, aren't you, anyway? But it's
Yeah.
going to be who's brave enough to fish for barbel.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
I
yeah.
certainly wouldn't. I mean, I
No.
don't fish rivers anyway, but I certainly
No.
wouldn't. But
No, I don't like to put all my eggs in that basket. I want to try and see what I can do, and then last resort I can chuck it if I need to. So.
Well, finally for me, mate, and I know you shouldn't, but I really am rooting for you to win because it's the commercial side of things, mate. Obviously, I'm a commercial angler. I would love to see you take home the money and the trophy today. So best of luck, mate.
Thank you very much.
And
Cheers.
yeah, we'll be catching up with you out the day. So good luck.
Thanks, Gary. Thank you.
So we're with one of the other anglers today. It's an ex-Starlet boy. Some of the ex-commercial boys will know him. He's used to be a big commercial angler. Turned to the dark side, I say now, and he's more of a river man, but it's Dean Cherrington. Dean, you qualified from Cuttlebrook, didn't you, I think? If it was
I did,
right?
yeah. I think it's peg 9 today.
Tell us about you, how you qualified.
Horrible conditions that day. Downpours, river rose.
That's rivers, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was horrendously windy. I only had £7 something, but it was enough to qualify. It was a waggler only day, really. You couldn't fish anything else. Well, short of a feeder, you couldn't fish another float.
Where was that in comparison to this peg, mate? Was it
Well, this is...
now 20?
So this is 20, so it's another 11 pegs that way, and it's literally the first peg as you go through the last gate.
Right, so what about your draw today? Happy with this?
I don't think it's not a winning peg. I drew this peg about 2 or 3 weeks ago in an open, won my section off it with just under £9, but it's a slightly different river today. There's a little bit more pace in it, so you never know. I had 200 fish that day for just under £9, so very small fish. So I'm hoping that there may be a few better quality fish here.
So explain it to me, just explain it for the folks at home as well, because it bamboozled me. When you drew the end peg, I thought you'd be happy with it, but you said something about the wrong end peg.
No, yeah.
And so it's different on a river.
End peg downstream, obviously you want the flow going with you, so there's no one below you. That's a big advantage. End peg upstream, not nearly the same advantage because,
Right.
I'm running downstream with my feed. I'm not drawing fish from upstream, I'm drawing fish from downstream. And obviously I have an angler below me.
Right.
I think in general, this is the wrong end of the river. I think you'll see first and second come from potentially quite a good way down there. I think Howard on the end peg down
one.
there, yeah, peg 1.
Strong peg, isn't it?
Strong
angler.
peg, yeah. Rob Quinn's on peg 3,
Yep.
another fantastic peg. And then
And they're both good anglers.
they're both
so.
good anglers. I don't know who's drawn in the 3 pegs above the gate down the bottom,
Well,
but they're all good.
Steve
roach
Stone,
pegs.
Paul Middleton. You've got Paul Middleton.
Paul Middleton's 2 below the gate.
Right, I'm with you.
Yeah,
Right, so,
and he's already gone for a swim.
but fish
so-
move. Anything could happen.
They've got
today.
fins. You
Yeah.
never know.
So just quickly tell us about what tactics you're going to use today.
This is a very shallow peg. It's 2.5 foot mostly. It's very hard to fish a waggler on because it's all boiled down the middle of the river. So I'll be limited to a couple of different stick floats and a whip,
Yeah, brilliant.
and maybe a bomb over the stick float line if I feel there might be a big fish there.
So let me put you on the spot. What weight are you going for?
Target weight today is I'd like to see double figures based on what I had off it last time. Slightly better river, so I'd like to say £10 possible, but.
Well, no
Don't
strangers
hold
to
me
big
to it.
matches, mate. No stranger at all. So hopefully it'll turn out in your favour, and best of luck to you. And I hope
Cheers,
the folks
guys.
at home manage to understand your accent, and we might have to put some translation or subtitles on it, mate. So.
Well, surely Neil's been on film already, so if they can handle that,
They haven't heard
then
Neil
they can,
yet. That'll be
oh
coming.
dear,
So-
yeah, get a
so,
translator.
Best of luck anyway, Neil.
Cheers, guys.
So we've just had the all in. Let's just kicked off the final. We'll catch up with you throughout the day. Just give the anglers a chance to settle in, and we'll bring you some updates. So we've come straight down to peg 3. Within the first half an hour of the match, we've just been told that Rob Quinn, who's on the peg, which was the beach peg, has had a big barbel. So as I said before, it's going to be fish safety. Any fish over £5 barbel wise, we're going to weigh in and return, obviously for fish safety. So we're just going to have a look at this fish, weigh it in now and get it straight back in the water. So welcome back. You join us just over the halfway point. Got 2 hours to go. As you can see, the weather's gone a lot duller. The fishing has been extremely hard. We've started back at peg 1 again for the mid-match report. Howard, as every typical river angler, isn't really admitting to what he's got fully, but we've estimated and managed to squeeze from him. He's probably got about £5. Rob Quinn, who had the barbel earlier on, is still running away with it. There's been no other big fish caught. There's been a couple hooked, a couple of people have hooked some chub, but unfortunately they've got away. So we're estimating that Rob Quinn's probably got about 13 to 14 pound. Richard Anderson, peg 5, said he's having a nightmare. Said he's got about £2. So I mean, it seems to be the general consensus on all of the stretch, and right down to peg 1, that people are admitting to anywhere between £3 and £5. So second place is still very much anybody's, but at the minute Robert Quinn's running away with the first place. Unfortunately, Dean Cherrington down on peg 20, which is where we started from at the All-In, having a dreadful match. He's saying that he hasn't even got £1.50 in the net, but like we could say, the river conditions haven't been ideal this week, but still very much anybody's match at this stage, well, for second place should I say. And there's still the section money, £150 each to fish for, so yeah, we'll catch up with you and keep you updated towards the end of the match.
Right, good afternoon. I was asked to come down and represent the club, being the chairman, and I felt honoured to be asked to come. The Renwick Rosebowl is one of the oldest trophies that the club possesses. It's been fished for mostly since 1874, with a few breaks for things like the wars and what have you. But 20 years ago, the match fishing scene on Burton Mutual came to an abrupt end, with nobody willing to run these matches. So when Gary and his band of merry men decided to come along and regenerate the match scene, as chairman I welcomed him with open arms and wished him all the best to get it running. A few people had negative thoughts, but I thought the man's keen, let's give him a chance. He's given massive chance, he's put a big thing back on the map for Burton Mutual Angling Association, and with help of a lot of long-standing committee members, Roger Smith in particular, we've managed to open up this lovely stretch of the River Trent for the final to be held on here, to represent this lovely Rose Bowl. And all I can see is the work that Gary's done for the match scene in Burton has gone from strength to strength. He's had a lot of backing from Neil, from Jez, and again, myself and Roger Smith have given many an hour strimming back these pegs and getting them match fishable again. But it's not just benefited the match angler. The barbel lads within the club have thanked Gary tremendously, because without his effort of getting the matches up and running again, these pegs on this beautiful river were unfishable.
So obviously we have done a lot of work, and again I'd like to thank Dave for obviously supporting us, because obviously he sorted strimmers out, and again the amount of hours that we spent down here trying to get pegs that haven't been fished on for years match ready. I mean, it has been a task in itself, to be honest. I mean, so I mean all you know, Dave and Roger Smith, I mean they've been an absolute star. Well, both of you really, to be honest, have been stars of the show by backing us 100% and sorting what tools we needed and coming down, giving us an hand, and you know, it's all come together really, isn't it, Dave? You know, and it's been a massive joint effort, but again, without it, I mean, without Dave and obviously long-standing members of the committee such as Roger, you know, we'd have struggled to put this on.
So we've just finished the all out now. We're just weighing in the first peg, peg 1. It's Howard K. He's admitting to £7, but like every angler, I reckon he's got double that. We'll soon see.
Neil's heavier, but these nets take a lot of moisture.
Some quality.
The other scales then.
Quality dive stories.
Oh, sorry.
So that's Howard K. First weigh in, peg 1, £9.
Thank you.
Well done, Howard.
Oh, no.
So we're on peg 3 now with Rob Quinn, who had the bauble earlier on, £9.2. This is the rest of his net to add to the £9.2. So it sounds like Rob is in contention at the minute, but obviously we'll find out in a second what his second wave is going to be with the silvers. So that's £3.2. So that's £12 2 ounce for Robert Quinn, leading the way by £3 at the current stage. Let's get back down to peg 4, see what they've done, mate. So we're on Paul Jeffrey's peg now, just seeing what he's going to put on the scales. That's £10 2 ounce for Paul Jeffries. Well done, Paul.
Thank you. Well done, Paul.
So we're down to Steve Tivy, local Burton legend here. Sounds like there's a lot of fish in there, Steve. That's a good net. £10 10 ounce for Steve Tivy. Brilliant result there. So we're down with Steve Stone, down on peg 9, the end peg in this field. Sounds like there's a few fish in there. Seems like there's a lot of fish in there actually. Wow, this is going to be close. This is going to be really close. Yeah, get a picture of that. Well done, mate.
We'll get down to the important part. So, I'll start off with Zone D. With £6 8 ounces is Dean Cherrington. Here, mate. Off a peg that shouldn't have been in. Oh, that might have picked up. Right. Zone C. Terry Truman with £6 10 ounces. Cheers, mate. Well done. Zone B. Stuart Rayner with £10. Cheers, mate. And Zone A, Paul Jeffries. Paul Jeffries with £10 2 ounces. Cheers, matey, thank you. Right, we'll go on to main section winners now. I know the man's not been very well, but he's fished the river for many a year, and he always comes up doing the business. So, from peg 18 is Clive Lloyd with £7 2 ounces. There you are. There you go. Well, you've got it. The other main section winner from peg 6. Not only has he picked up money today, he is the man that's put all this on for this place. He's let us use this club for the draw, for the result of all rounds. So I think not only should he get a round of applause for the section win, he should get a round of applause for letting us use this place. The man, Steve Tivy. Well done, well done, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Right. Now we get up to second in the match, off peg 9, weighing £12 dead, all silverfish, Steve Stone. Cheers, mate. Well done. You got just a little momentum, and there's your second place envelope. Cheers. So, we now get into the first place, the overall winner. I should think 90% of you have already guessed who it is. In fact, you probably all guessed. The first place is Rob Quinn, which includes a £9 2-ounce Neil Lawrence elusive bauble. So, the overall winner with the money of £1,000, a trophy that hasn't been fished for in over 20 years. So this is the first time in 20 years this little beauty has been cleaned, cherished, shown, fished for. Fair play. Also, he receives a medal which he keeps forever. This one, unfortunately, doesn't go out the hands of the club because it's took us 20 years to find it, so we've been able to fish for it again. So, I also would like to thank a gentleman called Trevor Nixon, who has been a strong angler for Burnt Mutual for many a year, who said he'd donate, he would be the man that puts these medals up for grabs. As he's told the organiser that he won this, and that's why he wished to give the 2 medals. We've looked even through magnifying glasses and can't find Trevor's name on this trophy. So, unfortunately, Trev, thanks for the medals, but your name ain't on it. So, if you'd like to give them all a big round of applause for Rob Quinn, who also wins the box. So not only did you get this, not only did you get that, well, I'll give you some real one. That's for that man to take a photograph of it. You also win that. Right. While Neil's still trying to work out how to check it, it is going to be an annual trophy. And all you people that qualified for the final will get the first dibs on entering it next year. So, enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much to Gary, Neil, all his helpers, and best of all, for all you people that have come along to support Burnt Mutual. Thank you. So, unless you want to, no, just get some photos with it and then leave it with Gaz.